Anthony Hartwick here with a Middle Ridge volleyball player profile. I'm joined by senior Katelyn Lesko. Katelyn, thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome. I'm happy to be here.
And senior season, what's it kind of been like going through everything for the last time at Middle Ridge?
It's very special. It's kind of weird thinking that I'm already like at my last year playing, but it's really special and I'm enjoying like every minute of it.
And you have five seniors in your class. What's it like being part of such a kind of a big senior class that you guys can really lead your team with?
It's honestly really special. The bond really helps our team, honestly, like on and off the court. The girls are amazing. I've been playing with them since I was in 7th grade, and it's just really fun to always play with them. And they're not only like my teammates, but they're like my best friends.
And one of the most important things in volleyball is the hitter and setter dynamic. And one of your fellow seniors is also probably one of the best setters in the area, Danielle Ollette. What's that dynamic like with you two? You guys feel like you're in such good sync. What's the setter-hitter dynamic like with you two?
A setter and hitter dynamic is super important in the game of volleyball, and you always have to connect and understand each other. And I think Danielle really listens to us hitters and really tries to better the ball. And I think we just really communicate with each other, and we always try and help each other out. And we're really supportive. You know, sometimes the sets aren't always like the best, and I hit it into the net, and we never really get frustrated with each other. We always just help each other out and support each other.
Does it help you to have a senior setter that you've been playing with for a while?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, obviously the connection is there because she's been setting me since 7th grade, and we've been playing varsity volleyball since sophomore year together. She's been setting me since sophomore year. So we've really developed our connection and our bond, especially throughout the past 3 years.
Coming into this season, what were some personal goals that you can set for yourself that you wanted to achieve this year?
Some personal goals that I wanted to achieve. I definitely wanted to really dial in on my passing. I wanted to have my service receive be a lot better. And I think hitting cross court, especially I always hit lines. So I think hitting cross court I needed to focus on. And I really like set that goal for myself. And honestly, just pushing myself in practice all the time and just making me a better player.
And now that we're towards the end of the season, how kind of would you rate yourself on those goals that you set way back in the summer?
What did you say? I'm sorry.
I said, now that we're at the end of the season, how would you kind of grade yourself on those goals that you set in the beginning of the season?
I would say I've accomplished most of them. I think I always push myself in practice. I definitely hit cross court a lot more, and my serve receive is definitely where I like it to be. I always think that there's always room for improvement. So I'm definitely going to be pushing myself even more going into playoffs because I want myself to be as ready as possible going in and facing these harder teams.
And as a senior, you're asked to be a leader on the team. How would you define your senior leadership?
My senior leadership, I think one of my values is I always really try to encourage the girls. I always lead by example. I try and show them that, you know, you really have to work hard if you want to be the best player you can be. You have to give it your all the whole time. Volleyball's my passion. So I think like that's just what helps me be like a really good senior leader. And the girls just really respond well to me being a leader on the team.
And you say volleyball is your passion. When did you kind of pick up that love for the sport and realize it was something that you were super passionate about?
I would say I started playing club when I was in 6th grade. And by the end of that, my 6th grade club season, I realized that I really liked volleyball a lot. But then 7th grade, when we won our league championship, the 7th grade team did, I would say like I really fell in love with volleyball, and just playing club really prolonged that passion.
When we talk to coaches around the area, they kind of tell us how important club volleyball is to their players. So that you play club, what's that do for you to get ready for the high school season?
Playing club just means more touches on the ball, and honestly, playing club, you come across girls all over the Ohio. You come across girls all over Ohio, and even in other states like PA. I traveled to Indianapolis and Kentucky even, and those girls are they are really big and competitive. So it just helps you kind of with your mindset, honestly, because you've seen so much competition that you kind of know what to expect, especially when you come back to high school. And then just getting more repetitions and touching a ball all the time, like, really helps.
Getting to see players all around the area and club, does that build up the sense of volleyball sisterhood? Maybe you see someone across the net that you either played with or played against in club volleyball, and you know exactly what they are, and you kind of build that sisterhood within the sport.
Yeah, for sure. I don't really know how to answer your question, to be honest. I didn't really hear what you said.
You're fine.
Sorry.
Obviously, your head coach is also your dad. Talk about that dynamic and having Ron Lesko as your head coach.
The dynamic, it's special. It's definitely different. I love having him as my coach, honestly. I didn't know what to like expect or how to feel about it when he first applied for the coaching job 2 years ago. I was obviously happy that he got it because I think he's a really good coach. He literally gives it his all the time, and his passion is volleyball too. So we have a really good bond because of that reason too. But he really just gives it his all and like helps the team a lot too.
We all see him on the sideline. What's his kind of coaching philosophy like in practice? What's he like off the court? Give us some insight into him, the stuff that we don't see from him all the time.
Off the court, he is funny. He jokes around with us a lot, and he has nicknames for the girls. Like he calls Danielle Grandma Alette because she just sometimes like hits the ball slow, and he says like, oh, you can hit the ball a lot harder, and like he calls her sister like Little Alette, Samuel Alette. So he really creates a fun atmosphere, but he also is very demanding. He makes sure that if we're not giving us our all, then like he will make sure he lets us know that. So it's fun though, and he's demanding, but it's when it's necessary.
Did you get a nickname too?
No, not really. He just calls me Lesko, and I don't really appreciate. Well, like I mind it. I don't mind it while I'm at practice, but when I go home and he calls me Lesko, I'm like, Dad, I'm not in practice anymore. Like you don't have to call me that. So.
Do you have any kind of pregame routines that you kind of like to stick to, or you try to keep yourself in a routine?
A pregame routine. Sometimes me and Jersey Tucker, I'm really close with her. Before the game, we always go get pulp. That's like one thing we have to go and get. We also do jumping jacks right before JV's game point. The whole team, we do jumping jacks just to get our adrenaline going and get us moving a little more after we warm up. And that's a really fun thing that I think we created. We always braid each other's hair for the games and stuff. So it's just a really close bond, and we find things to do before the game just to get us pumped and ready.
What kind of things make you proud to go to Mineral Ridge and you get to wear their colors and represent that school system?
Some things, I think we're really hard workers, especially the volleyball team. We're not always the best in sports, but when we have good years, we really do have a good season. And I'm just really proud that we always give it our all, and we just really make the most of what we have.
How have you been dealing not just with the changes that the COVID-19 has brought for volleyball, but the changes it has brought for schooling as well?
Are you talking about COVID? Is that what you said? I'm sorry, you cut out.
Yeah.
It's
like the changes in schooling and the classes.
Yeah, it's honestly difficult. I'm not gonna lie, like it's tough sometimes because honestly class is a little boring. I don't get to see my friends a lot in the hallways, and the periods are shortened, so I just don't really get to see my friends a whole lot, and there's a lot less interaction. So I miss that. And we actually had a pep rally today, but it wasn't anything like game games or anything, but so like I kind of missed that compared to last year, because last year we would have like big pep rallies with a ton of games. So it's kind of sad, but they are really trying to make the most out of it. They had homecoming court, and it was really nice that they did that for the girls. So they're really trying to make an effort, but you know, it sucks. And the games as well, it's hard not seeing all of my senior class there, because they would always come and support us in previous years. So it's definitely tough, but we're really trying to make the most out of it. We use our tickets like when we can to our advantage. So it is what it is, and we're just really happy to be playing volleyball though.
What are some of your future goals after you graduate from Ridge?
Some of my future goals. Honestly, just to be really successful, I want to learn a lot in college. I'm thinking about going into a physician's assistant program. I would love to play at the highest level possible in volleyball college if I choose to go that route. I don't really know what that entails for me yet, but I don't know, just to be really successful and to always remember like where I came from, and to never like lose myself in the college life, and to always remember that like I went to Middle Ridge.
And with all these player profiles, we like to give the player the chance to thank their support system, say thank their support staff and all the people that have been there for them. So I just want to give you the time to kind of thank whoever you really want to thank right now.
Okay. I would like to thank my dad for coaching me, not only these past 2 years, but since I was 12. I would like to especially thank the girls on my team. They push me to be my best every single day, and they're just my best friends. I love them. And I would like to thank my mom, because she's always keeping me and my dad sane, and always just being another supporter. And honestly, just anyone else, my friends in my community, in my senior class especially.
And before we let you go, we always got to ask this in the hard months of quarantine. We were stuck in the house for a while. What was your favorite quarantine activity?
Favorite what?
Quarantine activity during quarantine.
Definitely to watch The Outer Banks. I rewatched that show like 3 times. It was the best show on Netflix.
All right, Katelyn, thank you so much for joining us today. It was great to catch up to you. We appreciate your time, and we hope to talk to you again soon.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.